There are 10 really ingenious and super simple tricks to keep your whole apartment smelling fresh, and you don't even have to spend any money for it. How it all works and which 3 tricks even the housekeepers of wealthy people use, I'll show you in this video. Because actually, some of the tricks are so shockingly simple that you'll wonder why you didn't think of them yourself. Like the first one, for example, where if you have a tissue box like this lying around at home, you should just keep the lid instead of throwing it in the trash. Because in the very next step, you should carefully open the tissue packaging on the side. Once you've opened it, you take the piece of cardboard, and you'll also need an essential oil of your choice, which you can simply drip onto it here. A few drops are already enough. Now slide this back into the side of the tissue box, grab some tape, and simply tape it shut again. This way, in the end, no one will be able to see that it was ever opened, and every time you pull out a new tissue, you'll create an incredibly good scent throughout the entire apartment. The second trick goes in a similar direction, but it's perfect for your bathroom. For this, you'll need your toilet paper roll and an essential oil of your choice. Here, you should put a few drops only on the inner cardboard and turn it back and forth a bit, then hang it back on the toilet paper holder. And every time someone takes some toilet paper now, the friction releases the scent and it smells incredibly good in your entire bathroom. But those were just the first 2 of 10 tricks in total. Once you've seen them all at the end, you'll see your apartment with completely new eyes. Or have you ever vacuumed up cinnamon with your vacuum cleaner? To do this, you simply have to spread a small amount of cinnamon on your floor, ideally on a hard floor, of course. Or you just take a plate and put a small amount on there. About 1 teaspoon is completely sufficient. Then you grab your vacuum cleaner, turn it on, and simply vacuum it all up. Because whether you have a bagless vacuum or one with a bag, all the cinnamon will now be inside here. The advantage is that every time you vacuum, you ensure that your apartment smells incredibly good, like cinnamon. I picked up the next trick from a housekeeper who cleans for very wealthy people. For this, you just take a small bag like this, as well as a few of these laundry beads. Just put a few of them in the bag and then close it again. You can prepare several of the bags right away and place them in different locations around the apartment. For example, you can put them in pillowcases or just set them up somewhere in the apartment. Maybe even in places where they aren't directly visible or where you can hide them a little bit. But they're also perfectly suited for drawers or the closet to really ensure a good scent for a long time. By the way, did you know that many people also use the matchstick trick on the toilet? If it smells particularly unpleasant after you've done your business, but you don't want others in the apartment or house to smell it too, then the only thing you are going to need is a simple matchstick. Just strike and light it once shortly after and then blow it out again immediately. Because the strong smell of sulfur coming from the matchstick effectively masks all other odors. That means absolutely no one will be able to smell what you did in the bathroom before. Another undiscovered place where you can ensure a good smell is the trash can. Because in most cases, unpleasant odors come directly out of here from all the trash. To fix this, all you have to do is take a piece of cotton wool as soon as you've put a new bag in your bin. Because you can now sprinkle this piece of cotton wool with something, and there are several options. For example, you could use a few drops of an essential oil or simply some mouthwash, as that also works perfectly for this purpose. Just put a small amount on it, and if you don't have cotton wool, you can just use a standard cotton pad and put it in the fresh trash bag. This way, you ensure that it always smells fresh and pleasant whenever you open the trash can. If you have tea lights or candles in general, you should never just light them as they are. Instead, you can put a little bit of coffee into the tea light glass beforehand. Using ground coffee works perfectly well for this, but of course, whole coffee beans will also do the trick. Whichever of the 2 you happen to have at home, just put a generous small amount directly into the bottom of the glass and place the tea light on top. Make sure it sinks into the coffee a bit and that there's also plenty of coffee around the sides. Because every time you light the candle now, you'll be able to gradually spread that wonderful rich coffee aroma throughout your entire home as it warms up over time. I have 3 more brilliant tricks for you, and one of them is my absolute favorite. Most people probably have felt pads like these lying around in a drawer somewhere at home. But instead of just sticking them under furniture, you can also use them for the following trick. You just need a few of these pads. And then you should carefully add an essential oil of your choice to them. A few drops per felt pad are perfectly sufficient here. But you could also use a room fragrance, for example, and give it a few sprays. This exact same technique also works perfectly with your favorite perfume or anything else that gives off a lovely scent. Once you've sprayed them, all you really have to do is tuck them away in a spot somewhere in your apartment. And this works especially well in places where you can't see them directly. Because everyone who comes into your apartment will notice this incredibly pleasant scent, but no one will see the actual source since it's stuck somewhere in the apartment. This way you can hide it a little and don't have to fill your place with all sorts of air fresheners. A Chinese housekeeper showed me the trick with these dryer sheets because they also give off an amazing scent and you can use them in several spots around your home. You can easily just tuck them into your clean pillowcases, toss them right into your bin under the bag, or even keep them inside your wardrobe or storage cabinets to keep everything smelling wonderfully fresh. But my absolute favorite little trick is definitely this one, for which you will simply need a small glass container and some soft cotton pads. Start by draping them over the rim so that about a third is inside the glass and the other 2/3 are on the outside. Press them down firmly and then place one cotton pad after another around the glass. They should always overlap by about a third. Once it looks like this, you'll need a small plate or perhaps even a simple glass bowl. I've used a glass lid like this here simply because it makes the entire presentation look quite a bit nicer. I'm carefully pressing it down on top right now and then I'll flip the glass over with it. Because now I can take the glass away again and the whole thing looks exactly like a beautiful little water lily. Now we just need to take care of the scent here. For that, I'll take a small amount of coarse salt and spread it all around here, right in this little fold. Once there's a good amount of salt around it, we still need a fragrance. Here you can use all sorts of things again. A few drops of an essential oil of your choice, for example your favorite perfume or even a room spray. Just spray the whole thing with a little bit. You can then also place these anywhere in your apartment, either where they can be seen directly or even in more hidden places. Cabinets or the closet in general are also really well suited for this, so that it always smells fresh and pleasant inside. And if you'd also like to know now why my neighbors always put coffee in their bathroom, then watch the video that you see on the screen now. Click right on it